After completing the Porsche Tractor, I've needed a little model car refuel. So I went to a car show.
It's the Duke boy. Let's put on some weight. Here comes Roscoe. It's Roscoe. Pew, pew, pew.
And saw a race at Talladega. So back to the bench. I have totally destroyed my 55 Ford truck. But I've also added some things to the stash, including something that I'm actually building right now. Well, the first stash ad we got is some magazines. Found these at a recent car show, and they are about as minty as they can get. This is an October 65. Look at that thing's pretty neat. Winners of the biggest model contest and an Allison powered dragster. That's a slot boat. These are all from like 65 and 66. These aren't my typical favorites because I like the ones that are 63 and 64 because I think that that is like really when everything was getting, you know, the most creative part of the hobby from the golden age. It was Ed Big Daddy Roth said, when the Beatles hit, everybody dropped their cars and picked up guitars. But these were just too nice to pass up, and the fella only wanted a couple of dollars a piece for them, and that was approved. So we added those. We even threw in a 1965 and a half Auto World catalog. I guess it's a half because it's, you know, only a half. But these are cool. This has like the Fisher Craftsman Guild winners and info on that. We just saw those guys in Ohio. So yeah, these are pretty neat. And the #1 model car magazine, 35 cents. Not quite the same now. Those are pretty neat. I like these. I didn't, you know, because basically I didn't get a chance to be a part of the hobby in 1965, 1964, because, you know, I wasn't born yet. So it's kind of cool to see the history and apply some of that history to my current builds. Next up, we have a kit from my youth. The Monogram Snap Tight Texaco Tanker. Ooh, that is pretty neat. 30-second scale. The thing about this one, I never had this one. I remember seeing it at the Five and Dime, Big B, Kmart, or wherever they sold models, you know, a long time ago. And I wanted this so bad, and for some reason I was not being good that day, and I did not get it. It is a Fruhoff 92,000 gallon. So in 30-second scale, how many gallons does this hold? Put that down in the comments. I suck at math. But this, I still have a thing for these 30-second scale trucks. I like them in these boxes. If you see these things or got these things collecting dust on your shelf, hit me up. There's a few that I'm really looking for, and I would like to add them to the collection and maybe build them here on the channel. We'll see. But that one's super fun. This next one is really strange. It is a FPW model, 1/32 scale, P804, Pratt & Whitney R2800 double wasp aircraft engine. You're thinking, oh, is Tim Custom getting out of cars? No, this is gonna go in some kind of vehicle. And this is pretty neat. It is clearly 3D printed and extremely well detailed. What is this? I've already exhaust. This looks like some kind of octopus thing. But again, it's very detailed. And I got an idea of what to do with this for a project down the road. Not quite ready to start. It goes together. Something like this. It has this piece. I think this is the supercharger or something that goes on there. Maybe there. Probably here. I don't know. I don't build airplanes. But I guess that's where the prop goes. But this came from Poland. And if you need aircraft engines in 32nd scale, this guy's got a whole bunch of them. And they're really, really nice. Check them out. Next up, we have a Richard Petty AMT Grand Prix STP iconic model. This is of the early 90s, I think actually 1990 era. Why do you think I'm even building a Richard Petty, or get a Richard Petty? Well, the Acme show has some themes that maybe this can go into. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to go yet, but I thought, you know, why not try to build something just in case? So yeah, I'm kind of been real busy building a Richard Petty. But as you kind of know, I don't technically always follow the instructions. And I will say that this Richard Petty will have a twist. So stay tuned. Another fun acquisition is this. It says 1972 AMC Hornet. It's not a Hornet, it's a Hornet. Light blue metallic. No, it's not even that. I picked this up while in Ohio at Atomic Hobbies. And that is a 1961 Lincoln Continental. And this is pretty neat because this is not a promo. This is the Craftsman kit. It has a molded in hood. It's basically a promo, but it's in styrene plastic opposed to the warping plastic, the acetate plastic that the promos are in. So if you get a promo, they're not going to be straight. This one is almost about as minty as you can get other than being assembled. Someone did have some mirrors on it, and but not anymore. And what do I plan to do with this? Well, you know, knowing me, I'm gonna wind up having to cut it up, but that's for a time later on down the road. And I don't know, I kind of just like it like that too, so it might just sit there and, you know, it rolls around nice and it's pretty. That is a very cool car, and it is certainly not a 72 AMC Hornet. Back in the box. And then we got some detail stuff. These are some selections from Top Studio Detail Master. These are Hex Rivet A in the silvery flavor. Can you see these things? They are very, very fine. And what you got here is these little stumps on the end. That's what you trim off. And then, I don't think it'll show them, but those are very nicely done. And they look like that. And then you got this style. And those are super neat. They look like that. Again, silvery flavor. I think they come in goldish flavor too. Those are fun. Then we have, believe it or not, muffler springs. Check these little guys out. I mean, those things are teeny tiny. Can you believe that someone is over there in China, likely, coiling and making these little tiny springs so we can put them on our mufflers? Top studio. And then these things, if you really want to test your vision or ruin it, wreck it, however you feel like going about, these are the toggle switches. So you got some photo etch doodads that then insert into, I don't know, this is not even focusing, this aluminum dust that's in this baggie. And if you achieve what you're trying to do, it will look like that. And of course you have to have like 8 at least on your dashboard to really add. And I think they come in other scales too. I would check them out. Get them while you can, because you know, those are pretty fun. So that's a pretty good little addition to the stash, I guess. It's pretty eclectic, but that's kind of how we do things around here. In addition to the Richard Petty project with a twist, the USACC build is still being sliced and diced. I still have all of my fingers and I believe all of my toes. It still kind of deciding a clear direction on it. It is, I think, going to be something pretty neat, and there'll be an update on that soon. And hope you enjoyed watching the little stash additions here. And as usual, like, comment, subscribe. You guys know what to do, because I have all kinds of model car stories to tell. Thanks for watching.